All right, in 5, 4, 3,
Cheap flights.
Cornbread.
How's it going, everyone? This is Frank Cavone, the Cheap Flights and Cornbread podcast.
We're going to try that one more time because we did not.
Because Frankie put me in charge of one thing, and that was to press the fucking unmute button. And, you know, responsibilities are hard sometimes.
Listen, if there's anything I know, we've probably, out of the 54 episodes of the Kinda Live, Kinda Living podcast, we've messed up at least 27 of them. This is our first one. And we are here live, Kinda Living, at MeMax Brew Works for episode 10 of the Cheap Flights and Cornbread podcast here on Mirth Films. As all of you know, you can watch it live on YouTube and Facebook, and you can listen to it the next day on iTunes and Spotify and SoundCloud if you are into that type of stuff. But we're here. We're at episode 10, man. We made it to 10 episodes.
Dude.
They did not cut us off.
It's not quite the century mark yet, but it's something to write home about.
It is definitely something to write home about, especially because, you know, podcasting was a huge thing for us here at Mirth Films, and it isn't necessarily anymore, but I feel like we've got a rebirth here. I can't fucking think.
Dude, we're off to a great start.
We're off to a great start.
We're killing it. It's only uphill from here.
Hey, the worst thing that could happen is, you know, this shit just flops. But hey, thank God for recording purposes. So,
yes, absolutely.
But yeah, we are here at MeMax Brew Works. MeMax Brew Works is one of the few local independent breweries that are doing it right. I mean, I was very surprised when I walked in this place, and shout out to Ricky Chase, shout out to Tori Sweet for allowing us to be able to do this. This is just a beautiful room, but they have like at least 25 beers on tap. For a local brewery to have 25 beers on tap, I mean, you're a bartender. Jesus Christ, man.
Dude, nothing short of impressive. As someone who works at a bar with 4 beers on tap, and as someone who also got to experience life, to see how the other half lives at Peter's Pub, this is night and day. And it's not necessarily a bad thing because, like we said, at Peter's, this is completely different types of clients.
Completely different atmosphere.
This is the place where you have 1 or 2, maybe 3 after you have a long day at work.
Exactly.
Most of the people here look like they don't have jobs, but that's not really my problem at this point.
Right.
And as juxtaposed to Peter's is the place where, all right, I'm in a failing marriage. She's taking the kids.
No, it's literally the vibe.
I need to get blackout.
It's like MeMax, like, you know, top of the spectrum. Like as far as like, you know, people who come in.
Absolutely.
And then you got, you know, your blue collar class that maybe make it to Dango's, rest in peace. And then you got fucking Peter's Pub, which is like walking into an episode of Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And I don't mean to say that in a bad way, because I don't think there's places few and far between that you could be like, hey, I'm going to go to, this is a hole in the wall. Because a lot of the times, hole in the walls are the place to go to. Prime example, Peter's Pub chicken wings. I didn't really know what to expect of these chicken wings, especially because I was like, where did they just go kill a fucking chicken in the back and then they just like put it in the deep fryer? Like, what level is this place? And then I was like, nice staff, very nice people with an edge. This is what I like. I really had to question my manhood walking in there. And I that's like the first thing I thought. I thought I was walking into the scene of Star Wars Episode 4, where you're just walking into that sand dune of a bar, hearing that classic tune we all like to hear on Star Wars. Oh. And I was like, wow, this is where all the outlaws go. I better stop putting my pinky up when I drink my beer, or else I'm going to look like a chick.
That was actually one of the first things. So I feel terrible. So to those of you not in the know, Peter's Pub has been in this weird state of renaissance because since COVID, a few bars in South Street have shut down. And as a kind of an indirect result, we've taken in a lot of those people. A lot of those people don't have a home anymore in terms of a place to just get belligerent and not give a damn about anything else going on around them. So sometimes that turns into fights. And while I was upstairs, so our bar manager, Kenny, you're probably not listening because I feel like you don't have Facebook. But Kenny French, if you're listening, thank you for doing what you do, because I think bar managers all throughout are very underappreciated. And I will go on record to say that because we are live. We did figure out the internet password thanks to Mean Max co-owner David Walls.
Not Superfan Davey.
Not to be confused with superfan Dave Van Scoy. Dave Walls, thank you for giving us the password to your internet, because if it weren't for you, we couldn't be kind of live and kind of living. We would be pre-recorded and getting shit-cocked. But instead,
by all of you guys, all the tens of listeners out there.
Yes, and instead we have
We
a
love
healthy
you all.
buzz at Mean Max Brewery, located right on Glen Street in Glens Falls. To circle back to the point I was trying to make, I coordinated with Frankie. I had said, I'm here now, come through. Frankie was at that point about 15 minutes away. We had shit we had to talk about because, as I said, a fight broke out. We had to look at some camera footage, make judgment calls.
Yep.
And in that time, I'm looking at all of the security camera footage, and I see Frankie with his Mirth Films hat, drinking a Heineken, and I see someone with no teeth talking to him, and all I could think is, oh my God, one, this is the worst introduction anyone's probably ever received to this bar. But not only that, also the most accurate introduction anyone's ever received to the bar.
Honestly,
because our regulars at Peter's Pub are very fucking weird. And just as we talk about our regulars, ladies and gentlemen, Mirth Minute Superman Dave Van Scoy has entered the building. Dave will be at some point participating in trivia to hopefully try and win himself some drink chips, make himself some money if we run out of drink chips. So as it stands, God is my witness, Frankie as the co-signer, we have 9 drink chips here. Once we run out of drink chips, we are going straight to cash out of my wallet. I, on one hand, really hope people get questions right. On one hand, also, if you get some wrong once we run out of these drink chips, that's okay with me because it saves me money. There's a price on entertainment value, and we've currently listed it as $5 a question.
$5 a question. That's not bad. I mean, it's better than $0 a question. And I just want to elaborate on the whole Peter's Pub thing. Personally, when I walked in there, I was like, when that guy talked to me, at first, like, you don't judge a book by its cover. And they were nice guys, like, and the way I got to relate on them was like talking shit. I was like, why isn't there more blue collar places like this? How come, like beer's $10 over here and it's not $3 over here? And like being able to rant and like be an American in Peter's Pub, it was very righteous. Now we also have Ricky Chase, one of my fraternity brothers and lifelong friends here dropping off a flight of beer. Ricky, sit down, man.
No, he's got stuff to do.
Ricky doesn't have time, but we at least have a flight of beer, and we're gonna sip some of these beers for you and just let you know what we think. Because they're all awesome, and we're going to give great reviews because we appreciate being Mean Max.
I mean, aside from all of this, a big thanks, as I said, to the Mean Max crew.
Tori Sweet.
Because Tori Sweet, the mustache that won't quit, Ricky Chase, the man who does it all. Not only did he stop what he was doing, there's people starting to comb through into Mean Max. This man not only delivered us a flight by hand, also gave us descriptions of each of the 5 beers we are about to taste, written by hand, by heart, from bar manager himself, Ricky Chase. We can only thank him so much. He's too busy. He's pouring pints, but his heart is with us at Mirth Films.
Honestly, saving that is like saving a set list, man. And I just want to apologize to anybody who's watching live. We're just dealing with some technical difficulties with the internet, but have no fear. We are recording this, and just know that you will be able to listen to this on iTunes and Spotify. But we're here having fun, and we're going to be doing these cheap flights on location episodes once a month, going past March. So come watch it live. Come experience it live. This is something new and fun for us, and we're excited to experience this because we get to support local. And I don't know, it's just cool to be on the other side of things sometimes. Like I shoot a fucking lot of concerts, and like, but at the same time, like, I really love this other stuff, and like being able to talk about what we do for a living, and especially doing it in a hometown area, it's very nice, and I really can't wait to announce something that Brett has hooked up coming in April. You will find out soon, but we're going to first start off here tonight, before how we talk about our week. We're going to end with it this week. We're going to talk about this fucking beer that's
We're
sitting
gonna
right in
talk
front of
about
us.
this fucking flight. All right, so okay, here's the thing. As someone who is relatively a germaphobe now, I have learned. To those of you who do not go to bars very often, or to those of you who do, I guess it's irrelevant at this point. Keep an eye out for how many times your bartender washes their hands. And I got called out on it Sunday night before all the shit went down because I went inside to have myself a cigarette because Peter's Pub, the last bar in New York State to have a smoking room that gets to be, excluded from the New York State Indoor Clean Air Act. I went in, had a cigarette, and as a man who is embellished in the world of customer service, put it out quick to run out and grab somebody a beer, and he wanted a Corona with a lime. And I realized, wait a minute, I just had a cigarette in my hands, and this man wants a lime with his Corona. How bad does that make me look? How bad does that make the business look? Keep an eye out, ladies and gentlemen, for bartenders, and keep an eye out on how many times they do or don't wash their
I've never
hands.
thought about that.
Especially if you get drinks with fruit, especially if they are ripping your straw apart for you. Think of that. Think about how many things. I mean, how many cigarettes, how many joints, how many dicks have they had in their hand? You don't know.
You don't know.
You don't know.
Could be a
But
lot of dicks.
It could be a lot of dicks. Could be a lot of cigs. It could be a lot of dicks and cigs. But without further ado, let's go into this flight. So what I'm thinking is,
How are we doing this?
you take the first sip. I'll chug whatever you don't finish. Can you do
Okay.
that?
Yeah, that's cool, man.
So absolutely, starting with number one.
What is number one?
Number one is a lager, 5.4% alcohol by volume, 100% New York State ingredient lager. It is just called lager.
It's a very clear beer.
It's very clear what we're
So
doing here.
does that mean it's on the lighter side? For non-beer drinkers.
For non-beer drinkers, yes. Yes, it is on the lighter side.
Okay, this is probably good for you then.
And for beer drinkers, this is water.
Okay, so here we go. Drinking holy water. 1,
Yes.
2, 3. Just kidding. This is really good, actually. First thing I thought when I drank this beer, I was like, this is a very smooth drink. The lager is 5.4%, which is nothing to get crazy about, but it is higher than a Natty Ice. So if you are drinking in college, you're probably gonna get drunk off this if you drink 5 tall boys of it.
Absolutely.
That was my thing,
Special
man.
thank you to Frankie for only taking about 1 cubic milliliter of beer out of this before I have to work. So, as I said, this is the lager, 5.4% alcohol by volume. Let's see how it tastes.
Okay.
It's very,
What are your thoughts?
tastes like beer to me.
So, all right, for each one of these beers, we're gonna recommend somebody it's for. What type of American is this beer for?
This is for a college kid whose parents aren't rich, but whose parents have their home paid off.
Okay, so it's better than Yingling.
It is on par with Yingling.
It is on par with Yingling. Support local.
Support local. And,
We're moving on to beer number 2.
Beer number two is the Never Say Never. It is part of Mean Max Brewery's rotating sour series. 4.7% alcohol by volume. This is their fruited sour. Never Say Never.
This is a fruited sour. Never say never. And I actually had this before I came on here, and I'm just gonna reaffirm my decisions on this beer. As I put my pinky up,
As
and I taste it a little more. That's a good beer. So the thing I like about this beer, I am a fan of sours loosely. If I'm trying to get hammered, I'm definitely not drinking a sour. But if I'm out visiting friends, especially somebody I'm like, I wish I didn't see you, I'm gonna drink a sour. And what I like about this sour, it doesn't punch you in the back of the mouth. I don't know if you've experienced this, but with certain sours, to me, I just personally think that it's just too strong.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Jesus Christ, just give me a warhead that lasts 1 minute.
Well-
this is tolerable.
Absolutely. Well, before I pound this down and regret my decisions in this episode of Liver CrossFit, my whole thing with sours is like you said, that initial punch is, it's it's a breaking point. It's the moment of truth on whether or not this is a beer you'll have in the future. Especially if, like for me personally, I am slowly branching out into the beer world because I will be turning 26 in a month. And as someone who's drank mostly whiskey and ginger ale as a combination in my college drinking experience, I don't have necessarily favorable positions on beer, but I have slowly branched out. But I will say, I have started to enjoy sours especially. Grapefruit sours, I will say though, are the ones I find that punch you right in your fucking Adam's apple.
Absolutely. I mean, grapefruit's a bitter fruit.
Yeah.
I think the only, I can't knock anything. And by the way, this is a strawberry lemonade sour. It does come in a can, and if you are local to upstate New York, you can buy it locally at your mom and pop beverage center. I like it. It's strawberry lemonade. Like I said, it doesn't, lemonade is usually a little more punchy in taste, a little more tart. That's pretty good. And I don't know why I'm talking about fucking beer this way. I'm not no, 5-star dining expert, but, you know a good beer from a bad beer. I mean, you were in college, right?
Oh, sure.
You were on a budget. You know a bad beer
Yeah,
tastes
as someone who's paid 99 cents for 40-ounce bottles of beer before, that is my baseline for... I forget what channel it is that does, the budget versus buttery. This is definitely more toward the buttery side.
Oh, absolutely. This is a very... And not only that, if you can't see, I'm just going to lift this up really quick. This is served in a piece of wood cut from a tree. That's where wood comes from.
That is in fact where most wood... Keep an eye out for synthetic wood. It looks just as nice, but it doesn't last as long. It's like
pleather.
It's like I was just gonna say pleather.
Really?
Pleather
Okay.
versus leather. If you drive a 1998 Acura Legend 3.2, you have leather. If you drive a 2001 Acura 3.2 Legend, you probably have pleather. The Never Say Never is a 98 with the full-blown leather, baby. But let's move on to number 3. This is Mean Max's New England Double IPA, 8.4% on the ABV
speaking my
scale.
language.
And a fun fact, as you take a sip in that, this beer was second place in its category in New York State's Tap New York Festival.
All right.
This is a silver medal
Award-winning
beer.
beer.
Silver medal beer. And I don't know about you guys, I feel like a lot of our listeners don't have medals.
No. And
So-
neither do we.
No.
The only medals we have...
Our silver medal beers served by the 5 fluid ounce glass.
And that's fine because Mean Max is a hell of a place. But just speaking on high percentage beers, the reason why, well, I guess if I'm going to a bar that I don't know, the first thing I do is I ask for the most highest percentage beer.
Really?
Absolutely, because I want to get drunk. I don't want to drink a Busch. If I'm at home, I'll drink a Busch, but luckily Paradox Brewery has been hooking us up the past few weeks. But here we go. We got the New England IPA by Mean Max. Double IPA. Jesus Christ. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
All right, let's see what the hype's all about.
Oh, it's strong. It's a strong beer. I will say it's not as strong as a Voodoo Ranger, but at the same time, who likes Voodoo Ranger? So,
As someone who enjoys Voodoo Ranger, I'm going to act like I didn't hear that. And we're going to skip that.
okay, hold on. Side note, Voodoo Ranger. They got the 7.5 and they got the 9%. Do you like the the citrus, or do you like the Voodoo Ranger IPA?
I'm bigger on the Juicy Haze.
Juicy
The
Haze,
citrus,
that's the 7.5, right?
Yep.
What makes you choose that? Better taste?
I'm willing to, well, the thing is I think of beers all the same. The percentage is a very irrelevant factor to me. Most beers, if I'm having one, I want it to taste good.
Okay.
If I'm having 10, I don't give a fuck what they taste like. If it's being served to me in a pitcher, I have no right to complain what it tastes like.
And it goes quicker usually.
Absolutely. I remember, so to those of you who are not Plattsburgh State alumnus, a bar on Protection Avenue called the Monopole used to give out $2.50 pitchers of Rolling Rock.
I remember that clearly.
And I still
Or
think
not.
to this day, you are a motherfucking jabroni if you didn't drink that to yourself. If you asked for plastic cups, I think very low of you.
Well, pitcher was the pint. Pitcher was the pint at Monopole. And
They had
that's
small
the great thing
pitchers.
about Monopole is even if when you went on the weekends, the prices definitely went up on beer, but still they had a Genesee for $2. You're gonna go to whatever, popular nightclub in College Town, Plattsburgh, and spend like $18 on a Cosmo or a fucking tequila sunrise. But you can go to the Monopole, get hammered for like $10 and be like, wow, I hate myself, but I love myself because my bank account's not so depreciated right now.
I'm so glad they only take cash, because if they didn't,
back to
I
hole
would
in the wall
totally max
bars.
out my credit card.
Before we move on to number 4, hole in the wall bars are a staple to America, and I'm not ever going to refer to this country we live in as the United States because America is everything. Hole in the wall bars. I feel like that shows the grassroots blue collar side of any town you go to. You get to realize what this town's about, not just what this fucking, I don't know. I just think there's some places that are just like, a place gets gentrified and, you forget what that place is.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's a lot of places that exist in in Glens Falls, not even beer-wise, that are so amazing and make you realize what great things have come from, this place.
Absolutely, and especially when you think about the history of Glens Falls and especially the history of bar culture. Caroline Street was, at one point in time, Caroline Street was second to South Street, Glens Falls, in terms of its clientele, in terms of the money it was racking in terms of the notoriety. And then through a series of politics and bars slowly losing their business, Caroline Street started to take the crown. But what I believe we're seeing, Glens Falls, I will say, I've had this debate bartending with my regulars. Glens Falls never disappeared, but I think it's on the come up. And I think that this type of stuff and bringing in this different type of clientele is something that is going to create a ripple for generations to come. We are, as a city, Glens Falls is starting to embrace bar life and bar culture.
And it's on the come up.
Yeah, and that's not to say that it was ever in the shitter, but that is to say that it is still at this point in time a shadow of what it was in the 80s and 90s. My grandmother, shout out to one Miss Mary Mercurio, grandmother, who gave us the folding table we're using right now.
Thank you, Grandma Porter.
She is currently dating
Porterhouse.
a member. No, mom's side, not Porter's.
No,
but
sorry.
Currently dating a member of the Mansour family. To those of you unaware, the Mansours ran places like Happenings and Freddy's on Elm. So, at least by common law marriage, I do have a tie to a lot of this bar culture. And especially when, for a place like Glens Falls, let's be real, we're never going to have a certified like pro sports team. We've always had a hockey team. Like right down the road, we've had, Lord knows how many times have they changed their fucking name for the same hockey team. But we're still a pocket of civilization in the middle of the Adirondacks.
We are.
And I think that is something that's
We are
worth noting.
humans.
We are humans, we exist, and we drink beer. Including number 4, the New England IPA. Not a double IPA, the regular New England IPA. 6% alcohol by volume. Ricky Chase has not put any other descriptive terms in it, so we're going to rely on our taste buds and nothing else, and pray to God that no beer spills on all of Frankie's expensive shit. Frankie,
Yikes.
Take it away, my friend.
I've probably lost so many gear on being stupid, but here we go. What's the equivalent of like, what, get in your mouth? Like, yeah, people taste wine, I just judge a beer on how drunk I get, and this is I'm gonna get as half as drunk as I drank the double IPA, but I will say it's a little more tolerable if you're just getting out of work and you're not on a mission. Get the single. I think it's on par. It's very even zero with the New England double.
Yeah, taste-wise, I find no difference. Excuse me. Oh my God, that went down the wrong pipe.
We're gonna do number 5 quick, and then we're gonna get on our first guest, 6-man Dylan McKenzie, legend. Upon legends, there's no one that's more legend than him. It's fake. I'm not trying to speak like Donald Trump. Dylan's just a great guy, and he's always supported us through anything we've ever done, and we were lucky to have him.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So this last one, the name is very
I'm just gonna
alluring.
get it over with.
All right. Well, take a drink first, and then I'll give the description. Notice that once Frankie left Peter's pub, he started putting his pinky out again because he knows people won't kill him here for it.
Yeah, I luckily I ate the jumbo wings. They're like, okay, he's cool and like
He's cool. He knows what
But
he's doing.
I'm already gonna shit on this beer, only because it's a stout. I don't like stouts. It's nothing personal to me, Max. It tastes like a piece of chocolate. I don't
Well,
want to
that's
drink
great
chocolate when I'm
because
drinking
this
beer and I'm
is
trying
the-
to get fucking drunk.
That's great because this is the
I shouldn't
pastry
be.
stout, 6.5 on the ABV scale.
Okay, so it's named properly.
Made in fact with Oreo cookies.
No shit. Okay, I
So
honestly,
it does taste like a piece of chocolate.
it
for
really
a
does
good
kind of
reason.
taste like an Oreo cookie, chocolate cookie. Like if you were to blend that shit up with ice cream, that would be what it tastes like.
Yeah. Well, while you get Dylan McKenzie on, I'm gonna go piss. I'm gonna go expel that from my taste buds.
Yeah. All
And
right.
It's not,
So,
that is not a rip at me, Max, because I will say the aftertaste of Oreo cookies is tremendous.
And
but
on
if
the-
I'm drinking to get drunk, this is not the beer for you. This
No.
is the beer.
It's just like
You
I
drink-
drink a beer once a year, maybe once in a blue moon, or an asteroid happens every 5-10 years. I'll drink this beer. On the flip side, 5 of these beers, most of them are different. If you look at the tap list here at Max Brewery, most of them do not match, and that is a great thing about this place. You have options, and you have fucking options upon options. You know, like at least like talking about a specific beer, you know? Like you got the double, you got the single of the New England. You got 3 different sours you can buy here.
Yeah.
You got your double IPAs, you got your singles, you got your lagers, you got
You
your
it all.
Pilsners.
And sometimes you have
And I got my
unquenchable
hiccups.
urge to piss. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard him, you've heard of him, you love him, I hope. Our 6th man, Dylan McKenzie.
Dylan McKenzie.
Take my spot if you want. Daddy's gotta pee.
Dylan,
Yeah,
it's been some fucking time, man.
I know, has.
How have you been doing, dude?
Good.
I'm so happy to have you
Sip,
back
sip,
on.
Sip.
Oh, sip. Thank you very much. So, for those who don't know, who are new to the Chief Lights and Cornbread podcast, I always forget to chug my beer after cheersing, and Doug always calls me out on it, but now Brett doesn't. So, I need somebody to hold me accountable. But, dude, how have you been, man?
I've been good.
How awesome is Sony, and why is it the best camera company ever made?
Well, I mean, it's my brother's camera still, but I do love the Sony camera.
So, what are you shooting? Just so people know.
I've mostly been doing wildlife photography recently because it's easily accessible. It's out there. It's like I don't have to worry about getting permission from people. Like birds, animals, and stuff. I just love doing wildlife photography. My late
Yeah, man.
grandfather, he loved doing hikes and stuff. He loved birding.
Birding's
Just,
cool.
Just
And-
the part that reminds me of him.
And it's and the one thing about bird photography, for those who don't know much about photography, bird photography is probably one of the hardest forms of photography you could ever
Yes.
experience, because it's not about the shot. You got a nice long lens, you're set, as long as you're at the right shutter speed. But I mean,
Birds don't
you're sitting
cooperate.
there, you're waiting. You're
Yeah.
waiting like 3 hours possibly for a shot, for a bird to come at the tree. You cannot predict nature. Dylan shoots a lot of nature. You're also based in Schenectady.
Yes, based in New York.
And you guys have a lot of awesome stuff right in Schenectady. Central Park.
Yep.
I never knew Central Park. I think it's one of the most beautiful parks, underrated parks.
It is.
In
It was the same
capital
guy
region.
that made Central Park, New York City, designed, Central Park, Schenectady, and Washington Park, right in Albany where you are.
No way. I did not know that.
Yeah, same person just designed all those parks.
So he's American.
American.
He is a local, the guy who designed these parks. But Dylan, I really want to talk to you about mirrorless, man. Like I think right now, from where Sony went from A7R,
Yeah.
you're shooting a A7R2, which by the way, if you're shooting a new camera, I just want to say, you're just getting into the full frame market. You just got
Yeah.
through crop sensor. The one thing I recommend is Sony. And the reason why I say that is because you're going to buy a camera affordably.
What are you doing here? Get out of here. Stop.
So we're going to have you guys play musical chairs quick.
Yeah.
If you guys had a serious conversation, I'm sorry.
We had semi-serious, but no. I get the question all the time, Dylan. Like, what camera do you buy? What do you start with? If I'm gonna be a full frame photographer, I personally think.
I haven't looked at full frame.
Well, before you say, I'm going to personally recommend the Sony A7R II, number one, because it's 42 megapixels. And if you are somebody who relies on encouragement for your photos, you're not going to fail with a... You can shoot a fucking f5.6 lens on that camera in broad daylight and come out with a beautiful image. 42 megapixels is nothing to bark about. It's higher than the 5D Mark IV, which came in the DSLR market. Highly recommend that as a starter camera. Secondary to a starter camera, I also recommend that if you are Canon, you got EF glass, you want to adapt, Canon RP. I recently bought a Canon RP to replace my 6D Mark II. I was just like, fuck DSLR. I'm so sick of looking through an optical viewfinder, especially when you get so many great... And then separately, like, this is just camera bullshit speak right now, but like, I personally love an electronic viewfinder. It is life-changing. You would be like, I love photography. Like, because like, you see what you get. Yeah. There's no delay. It is what it is. And when I shot a 51.2, seeing that beautiful shit right in the fucking viewfinder, god damn, man.
I mean, the viewfinder...
That makes me want to go on fish tour.
The viewfinder for me, in astrophotography, does help a bit having an optical viewfinder, but the electronic viewfinder gives you a preview of what you're actually going to shoot, and that gives you a lighter or darker image. Like
you're not chimping? Like, okay, for a prime example, I was photographing Joe Bonamassa earlier this week, and you got 3 songs in the pit, 15 minutes at the most when you're shooting a concert. So having that reliability to know what you're shooting and seeing what you see while you're shooting it, it will make you a better photographer, and it will take that thought out of your mind, and it will then make you have that availability to shoot different things, take different chances, because you know what you're going to get. And I'm also a lame ass, too, because I'm going to go use the bathroom, and these guys are going to just chat quick about Plattsburgh. Because,
absolutely.
Because that's how we all know everybody.
We're going to have a Plattsburgh reunion, and as he is... I don't know. As long as Frankie fake punches you on his way back.
Just for a better mic quality.
Oh. So, as we keep things going, and as I adapt to my new life as the actual host, and as Frank Cavone gets assimilated, one could say, with Dave Vanscoy. To those of you who are not aware, there is more to the bar than just this dartboard that we're dangerously podcasting underneath of. Mirth Minute superfan Dave Vanscoy, a.k.a. my second cousin by marriage, is currently conversing with Frank Cavone. And this has been the closest thing to a wild goose chase I've ever heard of. No jam band puns intended, because Dave has gone to almost every show that Frankie's gone to.
Cool.
But their paths never collide. And it's a very weird thing. It's very similar, one could say, to walking downtown Plattsburgh at night. Because depending on who you are as a person, I myself, and not only because I bartend at a place like Peter's Pub in Glens Falls, I have a thing for dive bars. So, well, someone like you, and myself included, I love the Monopole. The Monopole is my favorite bar in Plattsburgh. Shouts out to the Monopole. Glad you guys are still in business. I'm glad you survived COVID, because Lord knows I would cry if you didn't. Because Frank and I, and we will drag our 6-man Dylan McKenzie with us, we want to have some fucking stoner wings.
Stoner wings are the best wings on earth. Look, when I'm not wearing this shirt, this hoodie, the Monopole hoodie, I wear when I'm not wearing the Mirth Films hoodie.
It's literally just that. Dylan McKenzie actually only owns 2 hoodies. And he keeps them on a rotation, on a permanent rotation, does laundry every day just to make sure he has one of those 2 hoodies ready. And while Frankie is taking a piss, I think it is time to start off some trivia. To those of you who didn't see me playing with these earlier, in my hand, hold on, let's do some flashy shit. In my hand, we have 9 drink chips from Mean Max Brewery. We are going to do a little bit of trivia once we run out of drink chips to give people for getting correct answers. I'm going to give them $5 American per question out of my pocket.
5 USD.
And to start, our first guest, ladies and gentlemen, you probably know him as Mirth Minute Superfan. I know him as my second cousin. Ladies and gentlemen, Dave Vanscoy. Dave, come on up, my man. I'm really taking this job as a host pretty seriously. We're having ourselves some fun. Dave is disrobing just to make sure that the tone is set correctly as we are broadcasting live to you at Mean Max Brewery. I might make him drink the rest of this dark matter Oreo pastry stout because I like the aftertaste, but the current taste is a little bit of torture.
It's too much for you?
That porter's
Tell
gonna
me
be
what
pretty
you.
good.
Yeah. Fuck, we'll do. Just fucking pass it around.
Definitely some chocolate.
But that's not.
Fair.
But like,
Mind if I-
like Frankie and I were saying, go ahead, dude. We're all clean.
Porter, right?
We're all clean here. But my whole gripe
Oh,
about
yeah.
it is that's not a beer you could pound. That's
like coffee
you have,
beer.
You have yes, very similar.
That's one to eat with a steak, potatoes.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. But that's
Not-
that's a steak and potatoes in a fucking pint glass.
It's not what you're going to drink on.
Absolutely. So, as I just make sure our levels are proper and do my job to be a good host, we're gonna start things off. So, generally speaking, my original idea was one question per person. Dave, we're gonna go until you get one wrong.
I could be here for a minute, or I could be gone almost immediately.
You could be here for a Mirth minute. You could
That's
be
right.
you could be here for a whole fucking podcast before Daddy has to go work. I'm not going to read you that one because I got it. To those of you who don't know, as I just said, Dave Van Scoy is my second cousin. Every Monday we play bar trivia at a place called Sully's East, right down the road from Peter's Pub, same street, Maple Street. I took a couple of questions from there, and the state of fairness and not trying to give away all of these sweet wooden Mean Max Brewing drink chips, we're going to pick some different shit. So Dave, what country does Bacardi rum originate from?
See, I actually know this. This is
I certainly hope so.
it's out of the Caribbean.
I'd hate to kick you out. right away.
Right off the rip.
Right off the rip.
I would have to say that would be Cuba.
Let's go! Dave Van Scoy gets the first drink chip of the night. We're going to keep it going because why not? I'm the host right now. I make the rules. What is the medical term for the yellow discoloration of skin?
Jaundice.
That is jaundice. That is another correct answer. Dave's getting another drink chip.
Doing pretty good.
All right, another medical terminology. What is the medical term for the collarbone?
Clavicle.
That's the clavicle.
Oh my.
Dave Van Scoy
Whoa.
on a streak, making
Dude.
the extended Foster family proud.
Doing good, man.
I mean, you want to save something,
No, no, wait, I know.
When we run out of drink chips, we're going straight to money from my wallet. I don't give a fuck. All right. Which PGA Tour golfers' pre-tour routine included chain smoking cigarettes and pounding Diet Coke?
That's got to be John Daly.
That's John Daly. Dave Van Scoy. He's got 4 so far. He's going until he gets them wrong, Frank. Dave's getting hammered.
Bring it out.
They get hammered.
All right. Name 2 of the 3 races in the Triple Crown.
Well, you got obviously the Kentucky Derby.
And
You would have the Belmont Stakes.
that's correct.
And you would also have the Prudence.
That is all 3. Congratulations, Davey. You're making Frankie and I regret doing trivia. All right. I think this one might stump you, but I don't know. What is the capital of Canada?
That would be Ottawa.
This man cannot
Smart
be stopped.
guy.
This man cannot be stopped. That's another drink chip for Dave. I'm gonna have to
Fair
go
to me.
fucking hit up the ATM after this. All right, can't do that one because you were there for it. All right. Who is credited with the phrase 15 minutes of fame?
That I don't know.
We need a guess.
Come on.
15 minutes of fame.
Don't make me kick you
Live
out.
in your lifetime, man. He died before I was born. Come on.
Stop it. Stop it. We want other people to play.
Say John F. Kennedy.
Andy Warhol.
Andy Warhol.
Sorry. Dave.
It was the right era anyway.
Dave, thanks for coming.
No, thank you guys.
But get the fuck out of here. Congratulations, Dave. All right. What? Dave, if you're like, I know I just booted you. I'm being instructed by Frankie. If you're welcome to sit down for a sec. We are doing some musical chairs in terms of the people on camera. Frankie
Yeah, come on.
is coming back on. It is only fair because to those of you who don't know, as I've said about 5 times already, Dave Vanscoy is the Mirth Minute superfan. What Davey and Frank have in common is every show Frank's been to, Dave's probably been to, and they've never met until now. And if that isn't beautiful to you, get out.
No, and I'm really happy to hear that you're going out to shows, supporting live music. First thing I want to talk about is your pins on your hat, man. What is the pin behind your Grateful Dead Steely?
That's the Adirondack Independence Music Festival.
Really? Okay. Were you at the last one?
I was.
What do you think of the Adirondack Independence Music Festival? And like, what did you think of most sets, man?
I think it's probably one of the best things going in this area in terms of live music. I think the talent they're bringing in is top notch. It's long overdue.
100%, man.
In my opinion here. I mean, hopefully they keep it going, you know.
I hope so too.
Most sets, you asked about most sets were phenomenal.
What do you, okay, I gotta ask, like, you're going to, you had any band to pick of, aside from, like, your higher tier bands like Phish and Grateful Dead, who you going to see? Who you want to see? Not who's available.
Who do I want to see? Oh, God. God, you put me on the spot like that. There's just so many, you know.
Because like we were like as I went to the bathroom, we were talking about Green Sky, so you got bluegrass involved here. But where do you lie? Like for me personally, like if I'm not seeing Phish, I'm seeing Mo.
Sure, Humphreys, McGee.
You were at the Humphreys show.
Yes, I was.
Okay, man. What do you think?
Oh, of course. I mean, they're phenomenal as always. I mean, they're just hell of showmen. I mean, their showmanship is top notch. Their stage lighting is crazy beyond belief.
So you
and musicianship wise, they just blow me away.
So jam bands are a thing in your life.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, what do you like? I guess, like, I don't know, like who you listen to actively, man. Like because there's so many out there. I think the jam band scene is oversaturated. Just from seeing a lot of them.
I would like to see Goose. I haven't seen Goose yet. And I know they're the next big thing.
Oh, they're absolutely the next. I'm not gonna say they're the next Phish. I don't think they want the responsibility to live up to that.
It's just like
but
Phish didn't want to be the next Grateful Dead. You know,
yeah.
It's the same thing. It's the same respect. It's the same, you know.
When I saw Phish at Mohegan Sun Arena back in 2019 on their summer tour. Great place, on Cashville, Connecticut. But like the fact that Goose played that place and filled that fucking room just like Phish did, like that's all you want, man. Like I don't think what people realize, and like I think there's a lot of hate in the jam band scene because people don't want one band to get bigger, and I only see that because I work with like fucking 50 different bands a year. Goose has proved themselves, and you could listen to them. You could be like, I hear some Widespread Panic elements.
You hear all kinds of influences.
So many.
Yeah.
And they're fucking just an awesome, great live band. I haven't seen Goose since they played the after party at Adirondack Independence Music Festival back in 2018. So it's been a while, but I've watched every single one of their fucking videos, and I've also, I don't know, I've just lost my mind on them. One of my kids I used to go to high school with was the band Formula 5.
Yep.
Formula 5 was one of the hottest groups coming out of this area, and Goose used to open up for them up here, and just to see them become that, and then like skip the fucking whole theater side of things and go straight to an arena. These guys aren't just another jam band. They're not twiddle. They're not pigeons playing ping pong.
Right.
These guys have
Right.
substance that relates to mainstream, but at the same time, it jams out. Like I brought this up on a previous podcast, Rockdale. If I recommend anything, if you've never listened to Goose, but you do like jam bands, go and check out on YouTube, Rockdale, Goose Miss. It's like listening to 46 Days from Phish. It is such a crunchy, swampy jam that, like, wow, you can't even recognize the difference between Rick Montroda and fucking Trey Anastasio. And you know what? They're humble motherfucking guys. Tom Marshall, Baxham, you know, I personally, like, I don't know. I just think, like, as much love as there is in jam bands, there's just as much hate, and it's because of...
And that's weird. And that's weird to me.
It's fucking weird.
It's
Because,
so
you know,
weird to
Jerry
me.
Jerry would never have wanted that. But I'm really happy that you know 80K Fest. It's something Dave Emmett and I have been working a lot on the past 4 years. It is so amazing to be to have a hometown music festival in Lake George, especially a band like Mo.
Long overdue, and it just keeps getting better and better every year, you know?
Yeah, and just a quick plug, Memorial Meltdown. Twiddle is playing 2 nights at the Charles Arbor Park.
That's right, heard
You know, if you like Twiddle or not, whatever, they're a great band, and go support live music, especially right in Lake George, New York. We need more of that. But that just means 80K Fest this year is not going to have Twiddle, which we've had Twiddle every year since fucking 2017. I think it's time for a fucking change.
Yep, I think we'll get some fresh faces in there, which
Yes,
will be
we
good.
will.
Obviously, I don't know the story, what's going on with Mo. Obviously, you know, they've had the...
Speaking of Mo, I'm just gonna give another plug. Das Trios, the 30th anniversary Greg Bell show, happening at Empire Live. If you want to see almost the whole band of Mo, not at the Palace Theater but in a smaller venue, go to Empire Live. April 23rd actually is the day it's gonna sell out, and there's gonna be some real special surprises. And I got hiccups. I'm sorry.
Frankie, give me your keys.
I'm going to also plug a few things here. While we're talking about plugs, number one, Greg Bell documentary, Grappling Greg, the story of Greg Bell.
Looking forward. That's good.
I don't know. Thank you very much, man. I don't know if you've ever been Eastbound Throwdown.
I think I was there years ago. I think like maybe 6-7 years ago, I think it was, maybe.
Go and check it out this year. It's getting bigger and bigger every year. Last year was the biggest year after COVID. If that has anything to say, go check out EBJ. They're a fucking great band. And Greg Bell, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have half the shit we have right now. At least in Capital Region. I also want to plug the Mirth Films website, mirth-films.com. You can go check out all the latest live music news, concert reviews, original video content, all that bullshit. You can go check it out right there. You can also buy Chief Lights and Cornbread t-shirt right on the Mirth Films website, mirth-films.com/merch. Go and check it out. Get yourself a t-shirt, help support the podcast. And if you see in the bottom of the links, there are support the podcast links. So we are available on Venmo and PayPal. If you're able to support the podcast, please help us out. We want to keep on doing this so we can have more episodes with Superfan Davey.
Yes, we are currently working on a bottle redemption thing, kind of like the Boy Scouts do. We're going to set that up outside of Peter's Pub. If you would like to return your empty bottles and cans, that is 157 Maple Street.
Well, now I actually have a use for them.
Good, right?
And on a side note,
the Boy
I also
Scouts
want to
do.
cheers to Dave. You are the most winningest on the podcast so far. What, he got all 5?
He got,
got 4 out of 5.
Dave, you got, out of a total of 9 drink chips we had, Dave went away with 6 drink chips. In terms of
Usually we
retail,
only give out $25. This is
yes,
what?
at the current rate of $6.25 a drink chip. If my math serves me correctly, that is $37.50. Dave Van Scoy won $37.50 worth of free drinks at Mean Max Brewery. But with that in mind, we still have 5 questions, 3 drink chips, and $10 to give away.
Give 'em away.
So if anyone who's bored as fuck and wants to win some drink chips and money, show up to all the people with the cameras and answer trivia questions, and you can win drink chips and or money.
Free beer. No hot wings.
No hot wings.
No hot wings.
No, we're
That's
not.
a different show.
We're not. No, we're about. Oh, there we
We
go.
got somebody.
There we go.
Dave,
All right, here we go.
thank you for your time, my friend. Hey, how you doing, man?
Yeah, hop in, man.
Hey,
What's your name?
Austin.
Austin?
Frank Cavone.
Frank.
Brett.
Brett. Good to meet
We're
you.
here, Chief Lights and Cornbread podcast on Mirth Films. We're playing some trivia for some drink chips here.
All right.
And this guy's the second trivia master to Dave.
Yes,
He beat
absolutely.
out Tori.
All right. I like it.
Yes,
Yeah, fan favorite here.
If it weren't for Dave, we would not have beat those retired teachers at Sully's East yesterday. So to that, Dave, we thank you. There's a total of 5 questions left. You could win a total of 3 drink chips. And once we run out of drink chips, I'm giving $5 out of my own wallet per question.
All right.
You could leave here with a total retail value of $28.75.
And an Uber ride home.
And not
Uber ride home.
maybe an Uber ride home.
I'm in.
We'll work on that for next time. Okay. Question number 1. What is the square root of 225?
Why? Why? Why are you doing this to me?
I wanted to add some diversity. I wanted to make
It could
sure.
be easier. You don't know.
I knew this one.
Where'd you pull these questions from?
Yeah. What's the deal here?
Pub trivia.
Pub trivia. So you gotta be.
There's a whole stack of board games right here, and I ran out of time, so I.
So we're
took
thinking about
easy ones.
Regents. 9th, 10th grade question here.
Yeah, I know. This is
Perhaps,
Are you smarter than a
perhaps,
10th grader?
perhaps 7th grade.
smarter than
mathematics.
a 10th grader.
All right. I'll tell you what. In the name of lenience, if you would like, we will pick a different question.
Let's pick a different question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe
But
we'll
we're
come back to
crossing.
that
We're
one.
no, I'm crossing it
math.
out.
We can come back
It's
to that
15. We're not
No math.
going back to it.
I was gonna say 25, but I didn't think that was
That
right.
that would have been if the square root was 625.
There you go. He's in.
All right. So, do you want music? Do you want general knowledge? Do you
Do
want
music.
geography or film?
Music. Let's do music.
Okay.
Film, I'm gonna be terrible at.
Okay.
Reginald Dwight is the name of what knighted singer?
Jesus.
You got 4 other questions, and you don't lose. It's not like all
Yeah.
or nothing. So
Okay.
All you're
You wanna
doing
skip?
is mitigating chances for other people, which is totally fine with me.
Okay.
That's so skipping it.
No, let's we'll say
Any guess?
Take a
is your
singer.
guess.
yeah.
You
Elton
could guess
John.
C.
That was my guess.
Elton John. That is correct. Elton John.
Oh.
With
High
help
five
from
up here.
with
Only one I
help
can think of.
with help from the audience, but who gives a shit?
Was that Dave Van Sloy trying to win more? Jesus Christ.
All right. The American Psychiatric Association, also known as the APA, says that there are 4 mostly common phobias. Name 3 of the most common phobias.
Arachnophobia.
You don't. Okay, and just so you know, we got 1 so far. You don't need the technical name. You need what. That's
Afraid
fine.
of heights, like saying that instead of
Yep.
the actual technical term.
Correct. Either
Okay.
or is fine.
Afraid of open spaces, afraid of heights, afraid of spiders.
That's correct.
Dude, I gotta give you a high five again.
And the other.
Jesus Christ.
And
you're
the
a legend,
other-
dude.
The other one,
And the other was.
afraid of a broken heart.
No. I mean, not that it matters because you're still going. Social situations.
Okay.
You got it though.
You got the 3. Yeah, he's still
Got it.
you're still
Dude, you're a
rolling.
legend.
How many
All
did
right,
that
for
guy
the last
You're
drink
Mirth Films
chip,
legend.
get? How many did that guy get?
Dave got 6.
Yeah, so
You
I'm
already
not a
got
legend.
6.
He's the legend.
But you're still
Mediocre.
silver medalist right
But
now.
these are hard questions I would not be able to get. So
Okay.
that's why you're a legend.
I purposely did not use this one because I heard it from trivia last night. In terms of landmass, what is the smallest country in the world? Crowd, shut up.
Rhode Island doesn't count.
Rhode Island
That's
does not
exactly where I
count.
was going. The smallest country. Yeah. Connecticut's smaller right now.
Oh, is it?
It's getting smaller. So the smallest country in the world in terms of landmass.
Is there a time limit?
No.
Dude, we'll stay here all night.
Yeah,
Can I
yeah.
Google it?
I would prefer if you did.
You got 2 chips already.
That's right.
Sitting in the hot
Going for
seat.
3. Smallest country by land.
You got 2 questions left.
Can you give me a hint?
It's got to be a very small hint. You're a legend.
It's got to be a really small hint. After I told the crowd to shut up, it's got to be a really small
What
hint.
is the closest body of water, ocean-wise?
Mediterranean.
Sea. I'm trying to think of the answer. I don't even know the question.
I don't know. It's probably like Italy or something.
Yeah, it's almost like someone yelled it out. It's completely inside the borders of Italy. That is your hint.
I don't know.
Vatican City.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. Hey, appreciate you coming on, my friend. You did
All right,
get
cheers to
yourself
the
some
Pope.
drink
Cheers
chips.
to the Pope.
Sweet.
Cheers to the Pope. Hey, thank you for coming in.
Yeah, thank you for coming on.
Yeah,
Enjoy
no
your
worries.
beers, man.
Guys,
thanks.
we have one question
Wait,
left.
hold on. Come back.
Wait, yeah.
I
One.
just want to know what music do you listen to?
What do I listen to?
What do you listen to? Yeah.
We're getting to know
We're a
everybody.
music podcast. What do you listen to?
Funk.
What-
Prague,
okay.
like
what
Chan.
that-
Right now I'm listening to a lot of Chan.
Like when you
Chan,
say funk,
okay.
you mean turquoise? You mean Parliament
Turquoise, they
Funkadelic?
broke up. I tried to go see them. I had tickets to their last
Oh,
show.
you had the last show. Okay.
No, I didn't get to go because they canceled without telling us.
Well, better news. Check out Ghostlight. If you haven't heard of Ghostlight, they're a band formed from J-Rad, and further, they're a fucking awesome original band. And Taylor, who used to play the bass in Turquoise, is now with the bass player of that band. And they're playing Lark Hall in April. Go check them out.
Sweet. Cool.
Bye. Pleasure to meet you, man.
Yeah,
Thanks
nice to
for
meet you.
whooping our ass
Yeah,
and making
thanks
us
a lot.
broke.
Yeah.
Okay, up
All right.
next, Tori Sweet.
We got Tori Sweet.
the man with the mustache.
I'm trying to win some free beer.
Why
Absolutely.
the mustache?
And
Why
actually,
the mustache? Dude, let me ask you, why not the mustache?
why not?
Okay,
the
why not
mustache?
the
Why not all?
Why not the
And
mustache?
actually,
We're just, it started as a COVID thing, mask on, nobody really cared what they looked like. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do a mustache, right? Only I see myself in the mirror.
Now,
and then
I got a
I kind
question.
of just kept it.
I got a question for you.
Here we go.
You are the new trivia guy here at Mean Max.
Yes, sir.
You are filling some very important shoes.
Yeah.
And I want you to quickly explain to this guy why you can live up to Dave.
Well, all right. So
I'm gonna use
not
the
only
bathroom.
can I
Sorry,
project
I'm
my
late.
voice almost as much as Dave, but you know, I think I can interact with the crowd decently okay, not terribly. We got some running jokes that go week to week with a lot of the regular customers that come to play trivia every Wednesday from 7 to 9. We have a lot of fun. We joke around. We try to give away as much free beer as possible. We give away 4-packs to the halftime winner, the overall winner. A lot of the time, just like you guys are giving away right now, we got drink chips. If you can answer some random one-off trivia once in a while, we try to just have fun with the crowd, get the teams to interact with each other.
Yeah.
We have fun.
yeah, absolutely. So at this point, it's probably been almost 2 years since I participated in a Mean Max trivia contest. But let me ask, is We're Here for the Beer still part of all of that?
We're Here for the Beer is a dominant team in the Wednesday night trivia here at Mean Max. Probably 50% of the free beer that we give away goes to the team We're Here for the Beer, which is extremely fitting, of course.
Only makes sense.
But we have some other crazy teams. I'd like to shout out Hodor, Strangers with Candy, El Chapo, Brew Crew, the Contrapublic, a couple others here and there. Chickens Strips is another week-to-week trivia team that always seems to do well. Those teams have, in the past few weeks and few months, been crushing it with the trivia. Definitely giving We're Here for the Beer a run for their money.
Wow, that's bold. As someone, as I said, as someone who's been going on and off to trivia here for, God, probably almost 4 years.
Yeah.
We're Here for the Beer has been one of those, has always been a presence.
They're
and
a force to be reckoned with, for sure.
Absolutely. And more often than not, We're Here for the Beer is one singular person. At least in the time since,
Yeah.
I mean, times have changed. I don't know if it's still, if he is the only one here for the beer.
It's a man named Dan. Yeah, he definitely he studies up. He is up to date with a ton of current happenings, but also well educated on a ton of historical information. Can take some of the questions that he doesn't know with the context of the question to make or infer educated guesses. He's a trivia madman. Yeah, it's no joke.
Well, as a fellow trivia madman and coming from a bloodline of trivia madmen,
Of course.
it just makes me really happy to kind of flip the script a little bit. And instead of someone participating and as someone, I could say, coordinating trivia, we're going to flip it up a little.
Yep.
We're going to flip it right on its butt. We have 2 questions left on my sheet.
All right.
Before that, and after that, I'm just going to have to start thinking of stuff.
I like it.
What actor played Patrick Bateman in the film American Psycho?
Oh God, I have absolutely no idea. So the thing about trivia is, I read it every week. You would think that I'm good at trivia.
You would hope, you would expect, perhaps.
I'm not.
Hey, and that's
I'm
all
awful
good.
at trivia. I've seen almost no movies. I watch like 6 movies on repeat. They're in a rotation. You got like Talladega Nights, Step Brothers, The Hangover, Super Troopers.
I could tell Super Troopers, and I don't really know why, but for some reason I could tell you're a Super Troopers fan.
Just something about the movie. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe there's not even any other movies. The Wolf of Wall Street
Solid movie.
and War Dogs. Those 6 movies are on repeat in my Netflix. I never stray. There's a man right there that just walked in. He is the sole representative from the trivia team El Chapo, a well-educated individual. His name is Lauren Sullivan.
Well, tell you what. If
He
you
would
would
know.
like,
He
if
would
you
know.
want to tag him in,
Lauren
we're gonna tag in one Lauren Sullivan.
Lauren Sullivan, yep.
From the team El Chapo.
And yeah, if you could read him this question, he will absolutely know the answer.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey,
on over.
sit
Come on
down
over.
right here, buddy.
Yeah, come on over.
Take a
Yeah.
step around some way. Because as I said, while Frankie's peeing his life away, this is my podcast, and I'm going to have fun with it. Welcome aboard, my friend. I'm Brett Porter. This is part of the Cheap Flights and Cornbread podcast, live on location, first time ever branching out from our Albany apartment. And right now, we're doing some pub trivia. This is your chance to win a free drink chip as someone who participates in trivia. This should be all well and good for you. So we almost ran out of drink chips because one of our fans, Dave, got 6 questions correct in a row. We only had 9 drink chips to give out. So after this drink chip, it's $5 cash from my wallet. Cool. 2 questions left. You want film or do you want local history?
Oh, local history.
What year was Mean Max founded?
Just had their 5-year anniversary a few years ago. So that would say 2014?
That is correct. 2014 is a correct answer. And now the question that stumped Tori.
Nah, that's pretty easy.
Be nice. What actor played Patrick Bateman in the film American Psycho?
Oh, yeah, that's, what's his name? He freaked out on set. Christian Bale.
Christian Bale is correct. We are out of drink chips, but that is okay because I have cash. That's $5 for you, sir.
Thank you.
And in the spirit of this game, we're going to keep going until you get one wrong. Who did the Green Bay Packers play in Super Bowl I and beat?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Super Bowl I, Art Starr was the quarterback.
Art Starr was quarterback for the Packers, yes.
They beat the Chiefs in one of them.
They
Chiefs
did
in the
they?
first one?
Did they?
I think they beat the Chiefs.
Did I give that away? I did. That's fine. Kansas City Chiefs.
$5 more.
That's $5 more.
Brett told me ahead of this podcast, he said, I give away money every week. Live.
Out of my own
I
pocket.
feel really bad. I just came in to
Dude,
get a
don't.
water.
That's great, but now you can get more than water. You can get a pint. You can get other things that real life American money buys. This isn't Venmo. This is real life fiat currency.
Give away Bitcoin.
We'll work on that. We're gonna make our own crypto.
I like it.
So, next question. Ron Paul was a representative from what state?
Kentucky.
Incorrect. That is Texas. His son Rand
Rand
Paul.
is Kentucky.
That is Kentucky. But hey, listen, man, you won yourself $10 and a pint of your choosing. Thank you for coming on, my
Thank
friend.
you. Thank
Which
you.
is priceless.
Appreciate it.
You can't put a price on that except retail value $16.25 altogether.
That's just a good time right there.
That's a great time. I'm
great
glad to be a part of it. And now we can give Frankie his seat back. Frankie, I hope you had a great experience going to the bathroom. We brought friends. Tori's suite struck out, but that's okay.
I'm terrible at trivia.
Because
It's all right. We got 2 late George people on this podcast
Yes,
now.
sir. You're
Yeah.
outnumbered.
What class are you?
4
2012?
2014.
2014.
2014. Shouts
Yeah,
out Lake George, New York.
Shout out to Doug Quimby.
Doug Quimby, if you're watching right now, we miss you, brother.
We miss you, and F the police. I'm only going to say that because Doug had to suffer through some bullshit. wallowing in high school, and but you know what? That guy's doing fucking awesome things. So, yeah. How does it feel to be class of 20? How does it feel to be from Lake George?
Love Lake George, man. Love Lake George. It was a good school to go to. I look back on it. I peaked in high school. No, I look back on it.
Same.
I had a lot of fun, man. You know, it sucked while we were in it, but you know, the good old days when we were there. I don't know if you feel the same.
A favorite teacher.
Favorite teacher. Greg Luckenbaugh, 7th grade English, definitely a strong contender.
Okay.
Strong contender. Miss Everts in ninth grade.
Regents.
Algebra. Yeah, that was she was a killer teacher. I'll
no
never,
bullshit personality.
Yeah, I'll never forget her class.
Love her
for sure.
Yeah, she was great.
Mr. Wells, 12th grade physics.
Huge fish fan.
Yeah, big physics guy. Yeah, don't argue with him. You won't win.
For sure.
He always kept it lively. But man, I was a gym class guy, gym class hero, if you will.
So who are you thinking?
Oh
Trombley?
man, Kyle Manning.
Mr. Manning.
Mr. Manning, awesome. Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
I'm gonna have to go with what's the other dude?
Bolin?
Not Bolin.
There was
Slick hair.
Blibtree.
Mr. Blibtree.
Was it Mr. Blibtree? Yeah.
That doesn't sound like a real person.
I only say him because I went to SUNY Plattsburgh. He would, when I used to work at Pizza Jerks, he would always ask for cold cheese.
Cold cheese pizza.
Yeah, and I never knew until I went to Plattsburgh. Then I went to Plattsburgh. I was like, okay. What's that name of that place in Plattsburgh?
Pizza Bonos?
Pizza Bonos. You go ask for cold cheese pizza. They topple your cheese slice with a shit ton of cold mozzarella, and it tasted meaty. Like it was a filling pizza.
It's good, yeah.
So when I worked
Soaks
at
up all
Pizza
the
Jerks
beer.
before I knew what it was, I would be like, why does this dude ask me for a cup of cheese with his fucking pizza? That's really weird. Don't do that. And I was like, after the fact, I was like, yeah, I would do that, absolutely. Yeah, I love Blibtree for that reason. Plattsburgh alumni. My favorite teacher ever, two actually, from Lake George Junior Senior High School. Number one, Mr. Strobel.
Oh, Strobel was the
Mr.
man.
Strobel was the most level-headed guy you ever meet,
Tech
and
class.
who doesn't like anybody in the tech department. Mr. Stengel.
Gangle.
I'm thinking
That was a combination. We mixed them up.
No, Casey Stengel is a famous baseball player.
Oh.
But
Strobel and Gangle, yeah.
Yeah, Strobel. Mr. Gangle was like the most fun-go-lucky guy. He reminded me of Steve Martin so much. I
Very
don't know
much.
why.
Yeah.
Very awesome human being. He also, well, no, he definitely doesn't play bluegrass. Only Steve Martin does. But other than that, she was my fucking guidroom teacher, 8th grade English teacher, started with a T.
8th grade
Glasses.
English. Fournier?
Mrs. Fournier.
Started with a T.
Close enough.
Until my second year of college, she sent me birthday cards.
She was super cool.
Super nice person.
Super cool. Yeah.
And I had her before Mrs. Gardner moved to 9th grade.
Oh, yeah.
So this is what, like, we're talking like prehistoric times, 2006, 2007. Tori,
Yes, sir.
what's been up, man? How's it been working here at the brewery? You've been here for a few years now.
Yeah, it'll be 4 years next month. It's been awesome. My bosses are really cool. They didn't pay me to say that. It's fun. I make beer during the day. I bartend at night. It's I never thought I would do something like this, but it's really, really cool. It's a fun environment. Everybody in the industry is here to have fun, to spread the love, to create awesome beer together. It's awesome.
And just to touch again, Wednesday nights, they do trivia here. It's a pretty serious trivia place. You can win prizes over the month or quarterly, and some of them are pretty big prizes. You got awesome sponsors like Minky Mink, Tess Bannon, the whole Bannon family.
Yep.
Pizza Jerks, shout out to Iggy and Sherry Rivetto. And there's also a lot of great other people on there too. But what makes this trivia special that you do?
Oh man, so I would say the varying prizes is what makes Mean Max Trivia from 7 to 9 on Wednesdays a little bit different than every other trivia around town. I do attend some other trivias and they're great. We have a ton of fun when we go to those. But the thing that makes Me Max special is just on a whim, sometimes Ricky and I decide that we want to give away extra free beer more than usual, and we'll just come up with some random trivia questions on the spot, try to give away as much free beer as possible. We get a ton of people in the door, it fills up. We bring out extra tables and chairs, they fill up. It's standing room only. Everybody's having a good time. We stream live music during trivia. We stream games during trivia.
Okay.
It's awesome. We have picture rounds, we have audio rounds, and we just try to give away as much free beer as we possibly can.
So you got the multimedia thing going, and
Yep.
number one, out of anything, most important thing, it's festive. When you come here on Wednesday night, it's an experience. You're not just sitting at a table. You're sitting here with a bunch of locals who really appreciate what's going on, and it is handled in a very caring way.
Yeah, we have a ton of fun. We get a lot of returning teams. Come out, give some of these killer teams. Brett mentioned we're here for the beer. They're a top tier team. Try to knock them off the podium. Give them a run for their money. 7 to 9 every Wednesday. I should say 7-ish to 9-ish. Sometimes we're a little late. Sometimes it's 7:15.
You guys are rock stars.
7:20.
Do rock stars come on at 8 p.m.?
No, sir. No,
They
sir.
come at 9:15.
Yeah, it's a fun time. We never have a bad Wednesday night here at Me Max.
Well, good to know, man.
Yeah,
Tori, as always, man, it's always great to have
it's
you
a
on.
pleasure.
Sorry.
Thank you, gentlemen.
I'm sorry. I wish you could have won
Enjoy your
some drink
hockey
chips
game,
during
man.
the bar.
Just
Thank
study up next time, right?
Yeah,
It's
I'm
for your own
awful at
benefit.
trivia. I was telling Brett, I'm awful
We'll be
at
back.
trivia.
We'll be back.
I like playing, terrible at it. I'm there for the
okay.
beer.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right?
Thank you guys.
Yeah. Catch you
Hey,
later.
thanks for having us.
All right. Up next, we have Caitlyn Mccann. Dun, 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 dun. Cue the Stone
Oh my
Cold
goodness,
music.
dude, we're out of questions. I'm gonna have to start.
That's okay. No questions for this
Dude,
one.
no, I'm gonna look up at least one. Yeah, but I already,
Right.
Dave, I already used that for most of them. I don't want to go off camera and break into a family board game. I already broke into the family board games, Dave. We're trying to maintain some realm of professionality here.
I mean,
What's up,
professionality
Caitlin?
is my profession.
We all say
We love
that.
some professionality.
Have you been?
Dude, honestly, I've been straight chilling.
Straight chilling. Okay, that's good. We're easing into springtime, you know.
Really, really and truly, we are easing into springtime. We're easing into festival season. We're easing into a lot of plans. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Coming
and,
up.
And for those who don't know, Caitlyn does a lot of brainstorming for what we do. I pull a lot of great ideas from you.
Oh.
Number one idea, Instagram Reels. I was so against TikTok and all that bullshit, and now I'm part of that bullshit. And honestly, it has benefited my business, and it is very important to stay up with the times and what's going on, and not to get dragged. It's like, oh, I only listen to vinyl. Well, guess what? I listen to fucking CD, bitch. Like, you know, like,
Dude,
that's
first,
extreme.
Frank,
but,
is
like,
everything all right at home?
No, I just, you know, I don't like Bluetooth. They're like, go on. You know, like
okay,
goes
so
on.
so 2 points. 2 points. The one being, yes, it's difficult to stay up with the times, and I feel like there's a lot of resistance in regards to, you know, trying something new. More importantly, there's certain aspects of it that are really hard to get behind, like the lip syncing ones. But it's like, I enjoy watching other people do it. Sometimes it's stupid, sometimes it's not, sometimes it's really funny. Second, I love a good CD, dude. Honestly, like I love having CDs in my car. What CDs do you have in your car right now? What are your guys'
So-
top CDs right now? Like, what was your first
I'm gonna
CD?
share a story quick. I
Please
am
do.
now a non-CD guy because of my car. I listen to straight Spotify, right? Bullshit.
There's your
No,
first
but when I
problem.
I had such a luxurious car, Saturn 2001, beautiful.
Straight luxury.
I was driving in 2014. It was
Leather
amazing.
seats.
It was my car. It was yeah. I mean, it was a 3-door. It was a
Power
Cadan.
windows.
It wasn't a sedan and it wasn't a coupe. It was a we called it the Cadan. And so it was this fucking tiny ass Saturn that I used to drive back and forth to Long Island when I was dating this crazy chick. And at the same time, like I lived up in Plattsburgh and I lived in Albany at the time, and so I put a lot of miles on this car. And But I loved it because I could trash it. I could be like, hey, I'm gonna put a piece of pizza on the dashboard because I honestly don't give a fuck. And oh shit, there's a sig hole from the cigarette that I smoked when I smoked cigarettes. Whoops. Don't care. So I love this car from the bottom of my heart because I could treat it like how I treat myself. And
good save there. I was not expecting that to be the
no.
I
I burn the midnight oil all the time. So I used to burn the midnight oil in this car.
On how you're valuing yourself at this time was that.
I just didn't give a shit, and like I feel like sometimes not giving a shit takes you far in life. Personally, it takes you fucking really far in life. But why were we talking about this?
Well, first CD.
So CD. So I had this fucking car, right? I used to I didn't have an aux cable at the time, and at the same time, like my prior car was a '99, so I used the tape cassette like to aux.
Yes.
I hope you guys know that. So I used that, and I was like, I was so over just dealing with like hearing static with fucking my music, and so this car, this 2001 Cadan, had a CD player in it, and it was great for the longest time. Like I made CDs for it. I was like, yeah, this is great. And like my favorite CD that I like, it made me it expanded my mind a little bit because it forced me to listen to records front to back. So I really appreciated that aspect of life, and like Deep Purple was one of the bands that like I ended up loving after the fact for that reason. But this one time when I was up in Plattsburgh, this Led Zeppelin CD called Presence, which is a great CD, Presence. If you haven't never listened to it, go listen to it. It's fucking amazing. But it got stuck in my car for like a year and a half. So I listened to the same fucking CD in my car for years because I would refuse to listen to fucking Pix 106 or 103.5, 103.9, any of those garbage corporate radio rock stations bullshit.
So you're telling me like it wouldn't come out, like your whole CD system was like, this is what you're listening to from now?
Yeah, like I would hit like open disc, it would be like, nah, bro, not today. So I was like, listen to more Jimmy Page, listen to more Robert Plant, John Paul Jones. Just,
You're gonna like it.
I mean, it could have been worse. It could have been like REO Speedwagon or fucking Bachman Turner Overdrive, but it was fucking Led Zeppelin.
Dude, it could have been Dave Matthews Band.
It could have been Dave Matthews Band, but it was Led Zeppelin Presence. And if you've never listened to Presence, fucking take Led Zeppelin for Zoso out of your fucking listening repertoire and put in Presence, because that will show the real side of Led Zeppelin that you want to hear. Jimmy Page for life.
Can I just say that hearing that really makes me a lot more embarrassed about my first CD.
What would you listen to, Lance?
My first CD ever was 50 Cent's The Massacre.
Who cares? If you didn't,
Shop.
if you didn't,
Questions.
dude, I grew up in 4th grade. I thought Into Club was like a fucking national anthem.
Dude.
Like I was like, Into Club. If I don't listen to that, nobody at school is gonna think I'm cool.
Dude, seriously.
And slowly I learned like it's okay to be an old soul. And I was like, you know what? At this point, I'm like, G-Unit's first CD dropped. You know what? I'm going to go back to Bachman Turner Overdrive, Kiss Alive 2, whatever I can.
I am not proud of my first CD. My first CD was a gift from my mom. You know, I was really influenced by, like,
What was it?
It's Hollywood Undead Swan Songs.
Oh, I feel less
Well,
bad
don't
about
feel so embarrassed because at least it wasn't Kids Bop. Kids Bop is a really great record album, but like, it's a compilation of great music per year.
Yes, by the finest artists under the age of
No.
11.
And I guess just
No.
the worst part is my mom gave it to me. You know, she was like, "Oh, Caitlyn really likes this. Her whole iTunes is Hollywood Undead. I'm sick of paying for iTunes cards." So
I'm just going to buy her a good old-fashioned CD.
So I unwrap this CD and I'm like in my room. I'm in 5th grade. You know, like everywhere I go.
Losing your shit. Yeah.
Oh my
Happy
God.
to be alive.
But that's awesome though. Music, no matter what form it is, it will make you happy, whatever you like.
Well, I feel a lot worse knowing that because Hollywood Undead as part of the conglomerate of artists that I said is really only music you listen to if you don't have a good relationship with your parents.
Oh my god, dude,
so-
that's so accurate.
So I hope you have an okay home life. We're all adults now, so I guess it doesn't matter. But on that note, Daddy's got to go. I have to go bartend. So henceforth, it will probably be
Where do you bartend?
Peter's Pub right down the road.
Oh, dude,
I'm
no.
relying.
I just
on,
went there. It's the most.
I've never been there.
It's a haggard.
Come by. Come
It's
by right
blue
after.
car. You've heard the stories. What stories have you heard?
You guys talk about that. I'm gonna figure out a ride. Guys, thank you for being a part of this. I'm glad I gave away all the money. I did. I'm glad I gave
Oh
away
my
all the
gosh,
drink
you gave
chips.
away all the money, or
I gave away $15.
$15?
Okay, so-
$15
so-
That'd make me holler, I tell you what.
So we're just gonna end
You
this
didn't
quick
holler soon enough.
before you leave. We're gonna end.
I
We're
gotta
gonna.
work for.
I didn't holler, everyone.
You didn't holler.
I will buy your bartender's beer that you're filling. What are you watching and listening?
Right now, watching, listening, watching. Babe, what is that show we were watching?
What's that show?
What's that reality show?
Summer House.
Summer House. Oh my God, dude. Totally ashamed of it. Don't care. Summer House. It's the Jersey Shore for like rich 20-somethings or 30-somethings who still think alcoholism isn't just a cool phase.
Oh, shit.
And they rent houses and get like just shit drunk. I have seen more man ass in that TV series than I have in my collective life.
Now, okay, listening before you leave.
Listening, Tribe Called Quest. Always Tribe Called Quest.
Okay, next.
Shoot, what am I watching right now? I recently started Entourage. Entourage
Hell yeah.
is I don't know if you guys, I did not know what it was about, but I recently
Don't give
learned
this shit
that it
back
was about 4 dudes
Promise.
banging ladies in California, and one of them's a movie star, and the rest are kind of like the schlups. We're not that far into it. I'm never sure how I feel about it. I'm into it. The person I'm watching it with, they were like, "Are you sure it's not too grody for you?" And I have to really give it credit for the fact that it is the early 2000s. Like, wow, everyone looks like super unhealthily skinny. Everyone's like, subject to this this very misogynistic lifestyle. They're calling the receptionist sweetheart all the time. I'm like never sure how to feel about it, but I'm into it.
Well, as someone
I
who,
just tell myself it's the 2000s.
God, as someone who calls
And now, will
most
you?
receptionist sweetheart, I'll just leave now.
Now-
Because I think it's a polite thing to say.
Oh, Lordy.
Lordy. So we're gonna move on quick just because we're on a pace here. Listening, one band.
Goodness gracious. What am I listening to right now? I heard this really sweet cover yesterday from Revocation of a
Fuck yeah,
Metallica
great band.
song. It was pretty tight.
Okay,
I liked
Revocation. Go check out some fucking thrash metal. Jesus Christ. Put down the jam for 1 second.
Just 1 second, kids.
What have you been listening to? Sorry, I'm
Tribe
getting
Called-
mad at these
Dude,
people.
A Tribe Called Quest, dude. Old school hip hop.
Okay, watching. I don't watch anything. Listening. I'm just gonna name a few. I thought Joe Bonamassa was a poser. I really thought he was a fucking poser. And then I went to go. I got a press pass to go photograph his concert. He ain't that much of a poser. Go check out his. I personally think, like, I listened to his early repertoire. It's not that good. I only say that because you can't replace B.B. King, and you can't replace just early blues musicians. So Joe, sorry, your early albums suck. But they opened up with a song called "Evil Mama." It was produced in 2018. It was a really good groove, really good bass line, overall good band sound. Go check it out. Joe Bonamassa is not that overrated. Second, Jibs, Chain Hang Low, Let You Wobble to the Flow. Yeah, Chain Hang Low by Jibs. Check
Chain
that
Hang
out.
Low.
And number 3, for those who, this is for people who grew up in the Glens Falls area 10 years ago, go check out Capital Zen. Capital Zen was one of the formative bands here in fucking Glens Falls, New York. Fancy Balloon Animals, such a good album. Lemon Pie, Jammer, you got Terry Scoville, Anthony Leo, and the Horns guy was the Horns guy when they sat in for Fish, if I remember correctly. Giant Country Horns. right here, fucking Glens Falls, New York. And separately, Pajama Time by Laura Berkner.
Yes, Pajama Time.
It's a children's song, but if you watch South Park, you get it. If you don't, sorry, leave. And then fourthly, Billy Preston. Billy Preston is such a great funk artist. I highly recommend checking him out. He was a 70s funk artist. Great funk elements. You would love it. Trust me on this one. Billy Preston, he's on Spotify. He didn't pull out like Neil Young. Okay, guys. This is modern Mirth Films.
Honestly,
And we'll see you April 30th. This is unofficially unannounced. April 30th, 24-hour podcast. And secondly, March 30th. March 30th, we are doing. March 30th, we are doing a podcast live on stage, interactive, at the Putnam Place in Saratoga Springs. Come check it out. If you can't check it out, YouTube, Facebook Live on the day, real time. We'll answer your questions.
You'll win money.
And separately, you're supporting local. You're supporting a small business, and we're just appreciate that. To the tens of listeners out there that we have you guys. So you'll see more of Caitlyn Mccann on the April 30th podcast. She'll be on for like at least 12 to 13 to 24 hours. And this guy will be on the whole time because he has no choice.
And then I'm gonna bartend right after.
No minutes.
I love the most.
Time moves slow,
Because
people.
I don't look after myself.
Guys,
Guys,
it's been a fucking good time, man.
Let's go.
I missed the first hour.
Up here,
That was
up
cool.
here.
Up here. My goodness,
Yeah.
that wasn't good. Hold
That was
on.
horrible. I recently like spilled the beer all over right here. Because they didn't look at my elbow. I
Coordination.
spilt a whole beer all over the bassist pedal board at Annie in the Water album release party. I was like, oh yeah, high five, Matt Richards. Whoops. And then and then Bill Spears all over the bassist. Fucking, I was like, it wasn't me to an extent.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
A picture of someone that like you guys knew.
Yeah. I drew a picture of Tori from Mean Max, and then she proceeded to draw a very unkempt set of male genitalia on it.
Really sorry.
That's okay.
But this has been episode 10 of the Chief Lights and Cornbread podcast. We have been kind of live, kind of living here at Mirth, at Me Max Brewery, with the impeccable Caitlyn Mccann. Please go check her out. She does great stuff. We have here Brett Porter, epic Steelers fan, loves Mike Vanderjack, except in 2005 when it's Super Bowl 40.
That's okay.
And you have me, Frankie Cavone. I'm just a piece of shit. Thank you so much for watching the show.
Yes.
And cheers to Mean Max. Thank you for letting us do
Empty
this here.
glass, fuck it. And just remember, if we were on a mission, we would have gone places by now. Thanks for watching. Love you.
Peace.
Bye.